Welcome, trumpet players. This video is for trumpet players in beginning band, and we will review lesson 2. For lesson number 2, we were practicing playing our first 3 notes into the trumpet: E, D, and C. We also reviewed how to breathe into the trumpet and what a breath mark means. This week, we're practicing on page 6, songs 8, 9, 10, and 11. Let's review those songs together as we review our breathing techniques and our fingerings for our 3 notes. Let's look at song number 8 on page 6, Match the Pitch. You'll notice that some notes say solo above them and other notes say band. In our music lessons, we will start having one student play the solo note, and then the rest of the group plays the echo note or the band note. Then the solo student, then the band, then the solo and the band, back and forth. This will give us practice not only listening to each other, but also practicing each one of our notes and holding it out for 4 beats. I'm going to go ahead and play song number 8. I will be the solo, and you can play the band notes. Because our first note is a solo note, I will start, and then you can play the band note after me. Then I will play the solo, you can play the band, and so on and so forth. I'm going to use my metronome to click so that we know exactly how long 4 beats is. I would recommend you tap your foot at home along with the metronome to get used to playing with a steady beat. Our first note of number 8 is D. Every time you see a music note hanging below our group of lines called the staff, that note is D. To finger D, we need to press our first and third valves. Remember, the hole on the left on our fingering chart represents your first finger, which is your valve closest to your mouth. Your second valve is in the middle, and your third valve is closest to the bell, or farther away from you. To play D, we need to press our first and third valves. Let's quickly review how we hold our instrument. The trumpet is held with the left hand. So wave your left hand at me. Hello. Then you're going to grab your trumpet by hooking your thumb around the back, and your other 4 fingers wrap around the rest of the valves, just like this. Over time, your hand and your arm will get stronger so that you can hold up the trumpet with just your one hand. For now, you may need to support it with your right hand. When we use our right hand to play trumpet, you hook your pinky in this little loop. Sometimes it's a full loop, sometimes it's just a hook, like on my trumpet. I rest my thumb underneath the tube on this side, and now my 3 fingers are free to rest and play the 3 valves. Valve 1 closest to the mouthpiece, valve 2 in the center, and valve 3 closest to the bell. When I hold my trumpet, don't suck in your elbows like this, because that way you won't be able to take a full balloon breath. Don't wave your elbows out like this either though, because that won't help you breathe and it'll make your shoulders really tense. When we play our trumpets, we want to stay relaxed. So before you play, roll your shoulders a couple times back and forward. Make sure your whole body is relaxed. That will help you take the biggest breaths and make the clearest sound. When you blow into your trumpet, you buzz your lips by making a firm line with your mouth. Pinch the corners of your mouth sideways like that, almost like you're saying M. And then just blow and buzz just by opening your lips a little bit. Let's try song number 8, starting on our note D. I will go first, since I will play the solo notes. 1, 2, my turn first. Your turn, 2, 3, my turn. Your turn, my turn. Your turn, my turn. Your turn. went by really fast. It's okay to pause the video and go back and try playing with us again. Remember, our whole note is only 4 beats. So that means you tap your foot or hear the click of the metronome 4 times, and then you stop your note. Let's try song number 9, A Breath of Fresh Air. Song number 9 can be tricky because there are no rests in this song. We do, however, see breath marks in between each note. The breath mark is the little apostrophe floating in the air between each whole note. Every time you see a breath mark in your trumpet music, that means you take a big, quick balloon breath. In our lessons, we've been practicing taking slow balloon breaths and then blowing into our instruments. But as we get better at our trumpets, we need to start practicing quicker balloon breaths. Not a short gasp like this, because that means I'm just sucking in a little bit of amount of air really quick. We need to learn how to take a balloon breath just a little bit faster than what we've been doing. So in between each of these notes, I can take a short breath, but I still want to make sure I'm filling my lungs all the way as much as I can, like this. That breath was a lot faster than... We'll keep practicing this in our lessons. Here's song number 9, A Breath of Fresh Air. This song starts on our music note, E. Every time you see a note on the bottom line of the staff, that note is E. And we need to press our first 2 fingers to play E. Let's go ahead and try song number 9, A Breath of Fresh Air. 1, 2, ready, breathe. That goes by fast. When you're practicing, you can certainly play it a little slower and take a little more of a pause on those breath marks to get a nice big breath. I'd rather you take a little bit more time to get a big balloon breath to have a clear tone than just to try gasping and to have a poor, sloppy tone. I'd rather you have a nice, clear, loud sound on the right fingering on the right note than just to gasp and try and blow whatever comes out. All right? So take your time and make sure that your tone or your sound is clear with the right fingering and the right sound. That's what's most important at this point. Let's look at number 10, breathing easy. Number 10 starts on our music note, C. In order to play C, we do not have to press any fingers down. Our C note is a music note that hangs below the staff, but it has its own little line. Think of C as like the lonely note on its own line. D was different because D hung below the line, right below, and it doesn't have a line going through it. It hangs below all the lines on the staff. Our C note has its own little line going through it. That's how we can tell the difference between C and D. Your C note should sound like this. Go ahead and try playing along with me and make sure your C note sounds like this. No fingers, big breath, here we go. If your lips are too tight, you might get a higher sounding note like this. If your note sounds like my higher note that I just played, then you need to relax your jaw, relax your lips, maybe open up your lips a little bit more when you blow into the instrument. This is the high note. Once I relax my lips, I'll hear my note C, which is a little bit lower. That's my C note. Go ahead and try it again with me. comes song number 10, Breathing Easy, starting on C. 1, 2, ready, go. Nice job! You notice that when I take a breath in between notes, I don't pull the trumpet away from my face to breathe in again. I keep the mouthpiece hovering, even touching, right in front of my lips. And I breathe more out of the corners of my mouth for my big balloon breath. That doesn't mean I gasp and take a shallow breath like this. I still take a deep balloon breath, but just out of the corners of my mouth so I can keep my trumpet at the ready. And now I can blow into the instrument. That's something that we'll keep practicing, and it'll become natural, second nature. Let's look at song number 11, Threezy Does It. Song number 11 starts on our note E. Remember, our note E sits on the bottom line of the staff, and we need to press our first two valves to play the note. Let's try song number 11. 1, 2, ready, go. How'd you do? If those songs were too fast, then you might want to play these by yourself and just take a little bit more time to really practice those balloon breaths. Over time, the more we practice those breaths, they will become faster and it'll be easier to play on the beat. Don't forget to tap your foot to try and stay with the beat. Nice work with your trumpet playing today. Feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to throughout the week. If you have any questions, or if I didn't cover something that you were hoping I would, feel free to send me an email, and I can send you an email back or video along with you. Have a great rest of your week, trumpet players, and happy practicing.